Hey, what's going on, everybody? So I want to thank you for clicking that play button and thank you for tuning in to the Dan Levely Show. And before we get started, I want to give it a quick shout out to our new affiliate. It's Hakuna Supply. Everything that you need for your marijuana consumption needs. They have everything from CBD goodies to blunt papers, blunt wraps, papers, stash boxes, storage boxes with your finger ID. That means you can only get into it. So go ahead and go to hakunasupply.com and use promo code the DL show and you'll get 10% off of your order. And that being said, welcome in everybody. And we have a very special guest today. We have WIZE stopping in to say a couple of to chop it up a little bit. So let's go ahead and bring him in right now. Everyone, WIZE, WIZE.
What's going on, brother? How you?
What's going on, buddy? How you doing?
Last time I was here, it was oops, you caught me smoking.
That's correct. Yes, it was.
It's been a while now. Because it's been the Dan Levely show for a hot minute now, right?
This will be my third episode as the Dan Levely show. So congratulations. You are number 3. I believe you were like one of my first guests too that I had on, because I was doing when I first started Oops Caught Me Smoking, I was doing it like a solo show. I was just pretty much just smoking weed in front of everybody and bringing up like funny stories to talk about on the air. But it's grown. It's grown to something else. But speaking of growing, you have been doing some work, my friend. Go ahead and tell these people who you are for those who don't know.
All right, my name is WIZE, Wise El Jefe. I am the host of Stuck in My Mind podcast. I am also the CEO of Real Wise Productions. We also have Real Wise Radio, Real Wise TV. And me and my nephew Poppy J just launched our TV show on BS3 Network on the Roku channel. So we got some dope things coming up.
Nice. So I'm going to take a dab real quick. Let me get this going real quick.
That's why we're here, right?
Mm-hmm.
It goes right to the stick.
There we go. Get it going right here.
I shrink it.
All right. Now that that's over with, we got our dab done. We're good. We're good to go. I'll probably do another one here later on in the show. But yes. But yeah, you've grown a network. You have the Real Wise Network now. Go ahead and tell us a little bit about that and how you started doing that.
It's actually just an internet radio station that we put together, and it's actually a lot of people that I've networked with, that I've become friends with, and a couple of DJs that we also have come on. We're still looking for some DJs. I need some more hip hop DJs, maybe some rock or something. I'm looking for all types of, like right now I got the 3 of the shows I have play songs from the 70s, 80s, and 90s, and then I just picked up this hip hop DJ the other day. So
nice.
Just trying to grow a network, brother. That's something I'm always preaching, is networking, especially when it comes to being an independent podcaster. If you're listening out there, if you want to be a podcaster, networking is key.
Mm-hmm.
Network, go on other people's podcasts, have other people come on your podcast. That is the way you grow your show. People think that you're gonna come out and you're gonna drop and you'll get 10,000 downloads that first episode.
Right.
Then reality smacks you in the face, and you come to realize this is work. This is not easy what we do. Like, we don't have big sponsorships. We don't have Spotify. We don't have Apple. We don't have Google backing us up. A lot of us are independent. A lot of us do everything that you see on our show, as far as intros, everything we do on our show, editing, it's basically us doing it ourselves. Unless you're fortunate enough where you can afford to hire an editor or hire someone to help you. But most of us, for the most part, we do this all ourselves.
Right, exactly. I've grown quite fond of editing myself. I don't edit so much anymore now that I go live a lot. So like the audio kind of, I edit the audio a little bit, but the video I just kind of
Yeah,
like go.
the video.
"Meh."
So yeah, because when I first started, when you did my show, I was strictly audio. I
Mhm.
wasn't video.
Right.
I'm video since September, and I've been monetized since March on YouTube. But it's been a different. It's been great because now I have more content. Like
Mhm.
before, I would. It's crazy because I would use StreamYard to actually record the show. Like I wouldn't use StreamYard. I would just use my Rodecaster Pro and record the audio,
Right.
right? And then one time I had a guest. I had a husband and wife duo on, and they were branding marketing specialists. And they're like, "You don't do video?" I'm like, "No, no, no, I don't do video. I'm working on it. Not yet. I'm not ready yet." So you don't do video? And I'm like, "No, no." And then that third time they go, "So you don't?" I said, "Yes, I do. Record." And that's what it took. And since then, I've just been doing video, and I've done pretty well, man. It's growing. It's crazy because I'm in a niche where it's not easy. It's the most popular podcasts are going to be true crimes. A lot of them
Mhm.
have to do with sports, entertainment, stuff like that. Me being in the mental health, self development field, it's like you have your the listeners that you do have are loyal listeners. Those are listeners that they downloading your episode every time it comes out. So
Right.
it's different because you got to work harder, but it's a blessing to me because I found my purpose. I found something that I love to do.
Mhm.
My show is to help anyone out there that needs to, and this episode's for everyone. I've spoken to entrepreneurs, coaches, everyone who has a story, and it's crazy because you begin to realize that yeah, we're different. A lot of us are different,
Mhm.
but at the core of it all, a lot of us have the same beliefs. A lot of us want the same things in life. A lot of us want to be successful, want our family to do well, and just want to enjoy life.
Mhm.
And so when you get to speak, being a podcaster, and me being a conversationalist podcast, you should know because you do conversations as well.
Yeah. Yep. Of
That
course.
you get to meet all different types of people with all different types of personality. But when you get to speak to them and have a great conversation with them, you're like, wow, there's like, yes, there's so much difference between us, but there's a lot of stuff the same.
Right. Yeah, it's like when I started podcasting, I had a very small circle of friends. I still have my very small circle of friends around me right now. But when I opened my doors, like, because I wasn't really a people person, I
No,
didn't
not
like
you,
talking to people.
not you,
Right,
Dan.
right, exactly. But now that I open up like my doors to like podcasting and stuff, and it's like, and then you start interacting with people, and there's people that like my co-host for Bet That with Dan and Jarian. Jarian lives in Texas. I have never met this man face to face ever, but yeah, I talk to him every single day, and it's the same thing with recording artist Droopy M. I pretty much talk to him every single day too, and it's these connections that you get with these people, and that's what makes podcasting so special. Other than trying to make money off of it, obviously.
If you come in with the mentality that you want, that's what you want to do is make money. You're not.
Hmm.
You're not.
No.
You have to come in enjoying it, loving it with a purpose. I'm saying you have to come to, if you're gonna do it, you have to come with a purpose. You have to
Right.
come do it because it's something you want to do. And it's crazy because you hear the statistics that since the pandemic started, 2.5 million podcasts were started, right?
Hmm. It's a lot.
There's a lot. But if
Hmm.
you really look at it, only like 450,000 are active.
Hmm.
And when I mean active, like have released an episode within the last 30 days.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
So yeah, you get people who start podcasting and then when they realize the hard work and all that goes into doing this, then they kind of fall off. So yeah, there's 2.5. You can search and you'll find 2.5 million podcasts, but again, 400 and like 450,000 are active.
Right. Exactly. Yeah, that's a very small number. It's when you think of it, it's 450,000 people that have a podcast. But when you think of it, it's only 450,000 people that have a podcast.
Especially when you hear that 2.5 million started a podcast since the pandemic.
Yeah.
And so, but again, like it's crazy because everybody thinks that, why are you networking with all these podcasts? Why are you friends with all these podcasters? Aren't they your competition? And I go, no, because everybody's show's different. It could be, even though it might be true crimes or this or that, but every show is unique. Every host is unique. Every person is different. So no, you're not. I'm not competing with it for anyone else. I'm competing with myself because I want to make myself better.
Mm-hmm.
I want to improve with each episode. Each episode I do, I want to be better than the last episode. So no, I'm not competing with whoever else is in doing mental health podcasts or whatever they're doing. I want them to succeed. I want everybody to succeed. Is everyone going to succeed? No.
You can root for them.
Yeah.
There's no shame in rooting for people.
There's no shame rooting it, and that's the problem. Like people don't know how to support each other, but I've been blessed that the people that I've, and a lot of them we share a lot of mutual podcasting friends,
Mm-hmm.
and they're great people, and
Mm-hmm.
we have great relationships, and it's just crazy that you don't know these people, but some of them become some of your biggest cheerleaders.
Yeah.
Like you would be amazed at how some of my biggest fans are fellow podcasters.
Yep.
And some of my biggest supporters are fellow podcasters. And you would be like, you would think it would be your family or someone you really know
Mm-hmm.
person, like in face to face. And that's not the case.
Right. Yeah, if you think about it, because every podcaster that I've met is pretty much like, let's collab, let's go, let's trade guest spots, and like, yeah, no, not a problem, I have no problem doing that whatsoever. And then you get those other podcasters, you got to be careful out there, guys. You got to be careful.
Yeah, I'm not.
Because
I'm not.
they'll get you.
Let's not act like there's not some people that you surely like. Okay,
Here we go. It's time. It was story time,
bro. I don't name the dude anymore. I name
Right.
him. I call him Voldemort. But the
Okay.
dude that linked us up,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
He's an example of someone that he like, from his fuck ups, a lot of great relationships came about.
Right.
Seriously, like
Yeah.
he had a lot of talented people with work. Like he linked up so many talented people. Like
Mm-hmm.
there's a group of us together that he screwed over, and it just united us, and we've collaborated, and a lot of them have collaborated and done some great work together.
Yeah, exactly.
So
yeah, enemies can become useful at times. You always need them.
But yeah, that person I don't mess with him anymore. I don't need that energy.
Yeah, the block button becomes very useful.
Oh yeah, no, the crazy shit was, I didn't have an issue. He unfriended. He unfriended me.
Oh wow!
And so it wasn't. I was like, all right, you don't want to be my friend. That's cool. That's like,
right.
I didn't do anything personally to you, and I didn't feel you did anything personally to me. But I've seen the way you try to do other people dirty, and it just wasn't I'm not that kind of person. It's not my kind of. I'm gonna speak on it. I'm gonna say like, yo, you're wrong.
Right.
I'm not like
flat out. Wrong.
There's no part of this that you're right. Like none of that. So for me, it's just like, I don't need that energy. A lot of the people that I've connected with podcasting have been great, and so I'm not here to for the negative energy. I'm here for the great vibes, man. Like me and you have great vibes. Me and you, I'm always sharing your stuff. I'm always looking. but that's what you're supposed to do. Like
Right. It's part of podcast.
it's what you're supposed to do. It's like when you find somebody that you know they got good content, it doesn't hurt you to press the share button. There's nothing wrong with you pressing the share button.
That's right. Sharing is free, everyone. It's free.
Free dollars. $3. Nothing. You don't pay nothing. Just share it. And but the thing, a lot of our shows aren't behind paywalls. They're free on YouTube. They're free on Spotify. They're free on our platforms. It's not like it's you don't. Okay, they are giving you something very precious, which is their time. So yes, I appreciate anyone who's out there listening and spending their time with us, because that's something they never get back, is time. So that's why when I really started enjoying this and found out that I had a voice and this is something I wanted to do, I was like, yo, you know what? Let me invest in myself. Let me buy a better mic. Let me get me the Rodecaster Pro. Let me get this. Let me get me a better camera. Let me improve. Let me invest in myself. Like I was furloughed from work. I was getting extra money. Hey, let me invest it in me.
Right.
Let me do it. Like, why not? Other people were probably out there spending it on Jordans and other stuff, while I was spending it on equipment and trying to get much better.
Yo, I've heard a lot of stories of people spending their stimulus money on BS. Like you can't be blowing that, man. Something's gonna happen.
You have to invest in yourself, man. You have to, like, if you didn't learn something when you was locked in the house, that it was a problem, man. Like I've learned so much these past 2 years that amaze me. I've learned how to become a graphic designer. I've learned how to do editing, audio and video.
Yeah.
I do so many different things that a couple of years ago I didn't do. I had my regular 9-to-5 job. Well, it's not really a regular 9-to-5 job what I do, but still.
Yeah, it's close enough. Mine's not really a 9-to-5 either, but it's close enough. Yes. But yeah, it's just you have to love it. You do. Yeah, whoever just picked up a microphone and decided I'm going to start a podcast and thought they're going to make millions upon millions of dollars like Joe Rogan, you're just fooling yourself. You might not make a penny off of your podcast, but you have to love it. That's what you have to do. Like I've started over 3 times, and I've been mildly successful in all three categories, in all 3 podcasts. So, and even if it's you don't find your niche, which I wanted to talk to you about, is how to find your niche. But when I first started out, it was strictly medical cannabis. We're going to talk about cannabis all the time. And I was like, okay, that gets boring. And you can only talk about so much without repeating yourself.
Yeah.
So I branched out, and then I got, okay, I like music and I like comedy, and a lot of people other like music and comedy too. So I have musicians on, I have comedians on, and I have fellow podcasters on like yourself. And it's just, you have to love what you're doing. And if you don't love it, like for me, this is my escape. My regular job, I don't really care for, but I do it because I have responsibilities to take care of. Yes. But this is my escape when I come home. I'm no longer that person that I am at work. I'm a podcaster, and this is what I do.
You know what? I find that you get to be yourself.
Yes.
When I'm podcasting, I get to be myself. I don't put on a show. It's just me being me. It's just me when I just talk to people. It's just I'm naturally curious. I want to know things. So it's for me. It's just having fun, learning something along the way, and just having some great conversation and being able to connect with some amazing people. Like I've spoken to people that I've seen on TV. I've spoken to best-selling authors. Me and a couple of high school friends have done episodes because they have interesting stories to share. One is a successful, he's a successful real estate agent in Brooklyn. And another one, she had the gastric sleeve surgery, and it was a completely lifestyle change for her. I have a friend of mine. She was working in the nursing homes at the beginning of the pandemic, and
Wow.
she's seen a lot of people pass away and all the nonsense that was going on with people dying in these nursing homes in New York. And
Right.
so
Oh, go
it
ahead.
so being able to speak to no, so being able to have these conversations and put them out there to me is like this is what I'm supposed to do. So being like I said, being that I found my passion and found my purpose, it's so much easier to just come in and just I look forward to being in my studio and recording, except for the fact that it's hot right now, because I really can't have no air conditioning in here because then the mic picks it up and the lights
Right.
are bright and so and the equipment it's hot and
Right. Yeah, I get it. A lot of people like record in their garages and stuff. I happen to do mine in my kitchen, so I have the luxury of air conditioning. So, but yeah, a lot of people they're sweating out here, guys. We're sweating to do this.
oh listen, yes, I'm here sweating and and usually I had this Arctic air cooler and I kind of tripped over it and broke it. So now I
Oh
just got
wow.
this little fan that I use to cool me off once in a while.
Right. Now, I do know that your show's about mental health, and that's kind of why I wanted to have you on here so we can dabble in that a little bit. Um, now, for someone that like myself, I've struggled with mental stability at points and times. Mine is my anger. I tend to bottle it up and then it explodes all at once. But like with someone out there like just struggling with like depression or anything, what kind of like advice would you give to them?
Oh man, well I'm not a doctor or anything, but
Hmm.
it's for me it was I was widowed at 31 and I it was like I had suffered one tragedy after another and I was very self-destructive and I was self-medicating, I was drinking, I was angry, I was like and depressed and all these emotions and at one point I was homeless and so to be able to one day realize like I need help. I need to
Hmm.
speak to people. I need to go seek help. I need to speak to someone. I need therapy. I need counseling. And to one and for that to like one day just wake up and this voice in your head telling you like this can't continue this way.
Hmm.
And so to be able to seek the help that I need and turn my life around and fall in love again, get married again, and find my passion in podcasting, man. It's like everyone has a story. Everybody's
Hmm.
been through different things in their lives, and my
Right.
story is not greater than anyone else's, but it's my story.
Hmm.
And but if anyone can take anything from what I've experienced or whatever, or if they want to just reach out and hit me up and they're like, "Yo, this is I'm struggling with this." I'm always down and listen because I know what it is to feel alone,
Hmm.
and because it was like for a while I was like, why does God hate me so much? Like, what am I that bad of a person that all this is happening to me?
Right.
And then when I realized that I'm angry over something I have no control over, like I have no control over all these deaths and all these tragedies and all that, and I'm angry,
Hmm.
but I can't do nothing about it. So when I realized that, I'm like, I can't. It's like I can only control what I can control.
Right.
And if I'm gonna get angry over something, it's gonna be over something I did, like over something I knew I had control over, and I still messed up.
Right.
So to get angry over other stuff you can't control is helped me realize I've just like I don't sweat that anymore. I don't let that affect me. I don't let it bring me down because again I've been to the bottom.
Hmm.
I've been in dark places and to shine my light and get out of there and still but it's a struggle every day. You know what I'm saying it's
Right.
it's every day You always in like that's what life is. Life is lessons and struggles, and you get your ups and your downs. It's just those moments that you hit the bottom. It's how you bounce back up.
Right, exactly. Like my kind of came when I was like a young kid. Like my dad's like 16 years older than I am. So it's like my parents had me at a very young age. So I was raised by my grandparents. And I always had that all my friends had their mom and dads, mom and dads, mom and dads, and all that. And I was like, where's like, how come I live with my grandparents? But it wasn't until I was older that I actually realized how lucky I was to actually have grandparents that have to fall back on, to someone like another couple that wanted me as much as I wanted them. So yeah, you get that, and it's like most people that are in the entertainment business, like comedy and music, and maybe even podcasting. Obviously, I mean, we all have a story. Like we all something happened somewhere in our life where it kind of it made a light click on, saying, "Hey," and like this wasn't, this isn't forever. This is for right now, and you still have a long ways to go. So keep plugging. Kind of turning into a motivational speech episode. There you go. Come on,
but
guys, keep plugging away.
but not but see that's what makes podcasting unique. It's like
Hmm.
you can come and you can have a conversation about because if you just because you might not consider yourself like a mental, but you kind of are like you speak to people who have stories. You speak to and you have your own story as well. Like you have
Hmm.
everything you've been through, and being able to share your experience and being able to be yourself. That's that's something like that's what people need to listen hear that. Like there's
Hmm.
times where you don't know what somebody's been going through throughout the day, and they come on and you pop on and they start listening to you and you brighten up their day.
Right.
It's whatever. It's fun. Life is funny, man. It is. It's. I would have. You would have told me 3 years ago that I would be doing this, and I would. And I don't because again I come from. I'm a table games dealer. I'm
Yeah.
not. I'm not in the media. I wasn't. I was never on TV. I wasn't on radio. I didn't do music or any of that.
Hmm.
And but it's like I'm like once I finally got the nerve to press record and release my first episode, it's like, yo, I have something here. This is something like I didn't know I could do. I was like
Hmm.
afraid I would make excuses like who would want to listen to me? Oh, I sound horrible. Oh, I probably suck. And it's like that's why I named it Stuck in My Mind
Right.
because I was just stuck in my head, just
Hmm.
making up excuses why not to do my podcast. And that's what a lot of people are. They're stuck in their heads
Right.
with the programming and all this other stuff that's going on, and it's time for to help try to get as many people unstuck as possible.
Right. Exactly. Just do it. You'll be amazed what happens once you hit the record button. The self confidence you get when you hear yourself back, you're just like, even if because my first episode, I'm gonna be honest with you, it was crap. It's shit. The audio was all off, the video was blurry, but I was proud of it. I'm like, I did this. This is me. And then you just learn to build from there and get better and just get better and get better and get better.
My first episode was 5 minutes. It was five
Yeah.
minutes. The second episode was 7 minutes. The third one went up to 10, and then slowly but surely it got up to like now where it averages between 30
Hmm.
to an hour,
Right.
35 minutes to an hour now. And so it's just it's crazy because my nephew was like, "Nah, we can't release these episodes. You can't release that first episode because we need to practice. We need to sound bad." I'm like, "Nah, I
Right.
want people to sound. I want people to see how we sound when we first started
Hmm.
to where we're at now."
Right.
So I actually like after probably like at between episode 50 and 70, I did a reintroduction episode. I kept the
Hmm.
first 5 minutes. That first episode, I kept it. I kept those 5 minutes, and then right after it ended, I come out and says, "Allow me to I did a Jigga stuff. I did, of course, I had to do my rep my man Jigga. I said, "Allow me to reintroduce myself." And then my that's when my intro kicks in and all that, and me and my and since I had done that episode with my nephew,
Uh-huh.
I brought my nephew back on, and we did another 45 minutes of new content.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
So you used to, yeah, your nephew used to be on there with you.
Oh yeah, no, we just started. Yeah, we started a new show. Friday. Yesterday was our first show. Yeah, it was our
Oh, wow.
first. It was our premiere episode.
Nice. Drop that shit right now. Drop it right now. Like, what's the name of it?
It's Papi J and WIZE Levely. It's
Oh, okay.
so it's drops every Friday at 11 p.m. on the BS3 network.
Mm-hmm.
You can catch it on their YouTube, Roku, on their Twitch, and then on Monday nights it drops on Real WIZE TV, which is our YouTube channel. So either way, if you don't see it Friday, you can always catch the replays on Monday.
There you go. That's right. That's how you get them in there. It's always there, guys. It's always there.
It's always,
But
yeah.
yeah, I was on your website actually, and I was listening to your Vince Russo interview. I think we talked about this the first time too. But I know that you're like a huge wrestling fan. I'm like, are you
Yes.
still a huge wrestling fan?
Oh yes, I am. I'm
Still?
so
To this day?
excited. I'm so excited that Triple H has taken over creative
I was just gonna
for
ask you about that.
WWE.
Yeah.
And so I didn't get to see SmackDown yesterday. So when I watched the highlights this morning when I was getting ready for work,
Uh-huh.
who did I see appear on my screen? Karrion Kross. And I'm a big Karrion Kross, Killer Kross fan.
Uh-huh.
And so I was disappointed when the WWE had released him. Because he like when he came in, he tore through NXT. Him and Scarlett being a great pairing on NXT, and
Uh-huh.
I love them as champion. And then when they brought him up to the main roster, they unpaired him with Scarlett. They gave him some stupid gladiator gimmick, and it just didn't work. So now with Triple H in charge, he brought him back, and he paired back him and Scarlett, and you can tell the difference. Now you can tell the difference now with how the shows are running with Triple H
Mm-hmm.
and the shows are running with when Vince was in charge. So
Yeah, it's I watched wrestling when I was a kid. Like I grew up in the Attitude Era, and probably the best era of wrestling ever. But I like when I was younger, it was Hulk Hogan and the Junkyard Dog and Andre the Giant and Ricky Steamboat and all those guys. But yeah, since my 20s, I want to say 20s, 30s, I just stopped watching it because it all got so predictable. It was the same thing over and over again.
listen, I've stopped watching it but then when Triple H was running NXT and he had the Undisputed Era and he had Johnny Gargano and he had Tommaso Ciampa
Uh-huh.
and NXT was it was because he went back to wrestling and building up characters compared to now where it was more commercialized. You couldn't say wrestling now. Like there was certain things that you used to enjoy as a kid that they stopped doing
Right.
because now it's more commercial, more money is invested in all this, worth billions of dollars. And so, like you, I grew up I used to go Madison Square Garden to see Hulk Hogan, Ricky Steamboat, Macho Man Randy Savage, King Kong Bundy, all the rest, like Junkyard Dog, all these like that's what made me love wrestling was going to the garden, and we had nosebleed seats,
Right.
but it was just being able to go to the garden and experience that, and I just fell in love with wrestling. Like right now, I'm on my shelf over here. I have Stone Cold Steve Austin, and I have Big Daddy Cool Diesel.
Nice.
So yeah, but I'm a huge wrestling fan still. I still love wrestling.
Yeah. Yeah, the whole Monday Night War thing is what shot it off for me when I was a kid. I loved it. I
Oh
loved
yeah,
it.
of course.
Yeah.
NWO and like I'm like, but outside of WWE, I am a huge Sting fan. I
Yeah.
love Sting. Like
Hmm.
outside of WWE, he is my favorite wrestler of all time.
Agreed. I
And
agree.
when he battled Ric Flair at Clash of the Champions 3 in that 60, it was a 60-minute heavyweight title match.
It's like an
And
Iron Man match, wasn't it?
it was like one of the greatest matches ever that I've ever saw was Ric Flair and Sting in Clash of the Champions.
Uh-huh.
And it was that made me a huge Sting fan. That made me like, that's my dog. That's who I gotta roll with.
Right.
So when the number Monday Night Wars started, it was like, man, but I love what I've always been a WWE guy
Uh-huh.
from the beginning when it was WWF. And so I was conflicted because you had on one hand I had Sting and I love Sting, but then you also started you had Hall and Nash come over, you had
Yep.
Hollywood come over,
Yep.
you had a lot of older WWE guys.
Like Bret Hart was there.
Yeah, eventually, yeah, later on after the mass exodus and all that,
Hmm.
and Vince decided that he was going to go with the Attitude Era and start pushing a lot of the younger guys,
Right.
like pushing the Undertaker, pushing Triple H. You had Shawn Michaels there. You had The Rock.
The
You
Rock.
had
Yeah.
Stone Cold. You had Kurt
Mankind.
Angle. Yeah, you had Mankind. You had a whole bunch of these
Hmm.
people that you had to move. So I could see why eventually a lot of the older superstars that I loved watching eventually went to WCW because it was time in WWE for the younger generation to come up
Right.
and shine. They did because, like you said, the Attitude Era to me is the greatest era of all time.
Uh-huh.
Like it to me was some of the best matches, best characters. Like Stone Cold, there will never be another Stone Cold Steve Austin.
No.
There will never be another Rock.
No.
There will
As
never
much
be
as you. Oh, go ahead.
an Undertaker. Like you have legitimately like some of the greatest performers in that Attitude Era, and I'm not taking away nothing from the dudes prior to that because there were
Uh-huh.
some great competitors. But like this to me was like one of the greatest generations of superstars. Like you had, and they all were different, and they were never. None of them were the same. Like they
Hmm.
try to make like they try to imitate them, but there was nothing more better than the original.
Right. Like some people would say, like Sting was like a copycat Undertaker, almost.
But not no, because
But
it not even because Sting was never into the dead man thing until he was doing the Crow.
right.
And then that was nothing near compared to Undertaker. If you would have said Sting was more like the Ultimate Warrior, I would say the fact that they trained together and the fact that they came up together as a tag team,
Hmm.
then I could see that. I could see why you would think him and the Ultimate Warrior because then the face paint and all that. But they came up together as the Blade Runners. They came up
Right.
as Power Team or something like that. And so, but now you had who was it? Lex Luger was supposed to be the next Hogan.
Yeah, that didn't pan out.
Yet his A&E legend stuff is WWE Legends is his thing's actually airing this week. I'm actually watch it because
Yeah.
I think he has an interesting story.
Oh, Lex Luger?
Yeah,
He was like a bodybuilder or something before he wasn't
I
he?
think so. No, he was a football player.
Football player? Okay.
Yeah,
It's like, yeah, I grew up here and I live in Midland, Michigan right now, and I live about 20 minutes away from Bay City, where the Steiner brothers are from,
yeah.
Scott and Rick Steiner. Madonna is from Bay City. She won't tell anybody that, but we all know the truth.
But
But yeah.
Yeah, Braun Breaker is now. That's Rick Steiner's son.
Oh wow.
He's actually the NXT heavyweight champion right now.
Oh wow. I
Um,
did not know that.
yeah. So yeah, no, he's really good too. He's athletic. He's athletic like his uncle. He's like his uncle Scott, and
Uh-huh.
but he looks like Rick.
Right. Right. He looks like Rick.
But he's built like Scott. He's
Right.
and so he's gonna
That's
be
funny.
good. He's gonna be good.
Right. Yeah. I kind of want to see where this is gonna go. Like actually wanted. Um, I watched the Survivor Series. I think it was SummerSlam. There you go. SummerSlam was
When that
really
just
fun.
passed with
Yeah.
Logan Paul, yeah.
Yeah, and I'm gonna say Logan Paul was that match was pretty decent. I thought it was gonna be trash, but it
You know
wasn't bad.
what? He he's a professional. He is a professional.
Hmm.
He's very athletic. He is definitely very athletic, and a lot of the moves that he did and stuff like that, it takes a lot of work, and I
Hmm.
applaud him, man. Listen, man is a businessman.
Right.
I'm sure the WWE is paying him a lot of money to go in that ring because he
Hmm.
sells tickets. He sells
Yeah.
tickets. He knows how to. He's a branding and marketing genius.
Yeah. Logan Paul, if you're out there, shout, hit me up. I want some tips, man. But yeah, it was like I don't know where this is gonna where the whole direction is gonna go now. I know that probably on SmackDown you said Karrion Cross came out, and but I don't see Brock Lesnar being in the WWE picture for much longer now that Vince is gone because he did walk out for one, and then he came
Yes,
back. I was like,
yes,
okay, I'll come back.
because you're gonna of course like you're gonna have the ones that are loyal to Vince.
Hmm.
But I don't think there's not that many left.
It's
Like
all the older people that were
yeah,
down around the
a lot of them are gone now. Like
yeah.
I think Brock Lesnar is probably one of the last few of Vince's guys because
Hmm. Maybe
Seth
Enzo.
Seth Seth and them came up through. They're more dusty guys. They're more
Yep.
NXT guys and stuff like that. So
Yep.
they came up through the system. But yeah, no, like I'm like I said, I'm excited. I want to see where Triple H takes him to, what direction it goes. I think now and more. It's been more wrestling matches, more instead of a
Hmm.
lot of talking. A lot of the segments was a lot more wrestling matches. So I like that fact.
Right. Yeah, I am interested to see where Triple H takes this. I'll start watching it again on a local basis. I'm gonna give it a shot. I'm gonna give it a shot. But it's I don't know. It's up in the air. Uh but before we go real quick, what's your dream match? Any match you can see just for you. What's your dream match?
Oh man, my dream match. Whew. Wow, it could be like any generation.
Anyone you want.
Oh man, hopefully I get to see it this coming WrestleMania.
Oh,
Roman Reigns and The Rock.
Roman Reigns and The Rock. Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say too. Roman Reigns and The Rock. That's all we want. That's all we want. Quit
that's
building
what
up
you
the
want.
storyline
Yeah,
to it. Just do it.
that's what we want. No storyline. Just give us The Rock and Roman
Right.
Reigns.
They're just gonna build up a whole storyline. It's gonna take a year and a half. Watch. But all right, Wise, I want to thank you for coming on. I don't want to take up too much more of your time, but thank you for coming on and
Oh, it's
chopping it up with me for a little bit.
bro, man. Please, man. I could do this all night. Like it's
All right.
even with the fact that I gotta go to work, but I could do this all night. Like believe me, the ultimate goal is for me to do podcasting
Full time.
full time. Yeah, like even though I do, it's like I still do it full time now because
Uh-huh.
I go into work at 4 in the morning. I'm out by 12.
Right.
I still got time to do a lot of stuff, and so I get to maybe to
Yeah. Yeah, that's my schedule's pretty much the same. I go in at 5 and I get out at 2.
yeah.
So
So you still
close
got most
enough.
of the day. You got most of the day.
Yeah, you still got you got all day and almost half the night to do stuff.
Yeah.
There you go. But anyways, yeah, go tell these people where to find you real quick.
You can find my podcast, Stuck in My Mind podcast, on all major platforms. I'm on Spotify, Apple. You can imagine whatever platform it is, I'm on there.
That's right.
You can find the YouTube. It's Stuck in My Mind podcast as well. Check out the production company. It's www.realwiseproductions.com. And check out the radio station. It's www.realwiseradio.com. We have an Android app and we have an iOS app as well. So you can download it and check out some of your favorite podcasts. Because we've grown in the last few weeks. We've added quite a few shows. Like before, we were just playing some mixed music that we just downloaded and put. But like my goal was to put podcasters and have sports shows and have early morning and afternoon talk shows, and then later on in the evening have DJs and stuff like that, and comedians and musicians who want to spotlight their music, and that's the way it's working out. So yeah, thanks, appreciate it.
Nice. Yeah, not a problem. You're more than welcome to come back anytime, buddy. I appreciate you coming on.
Oh man, I love listening. Being a guest on a podcast is so much fun because you ain't got to do none of the work. Like you have to do all the work. I don't have any other work to do.
Right, exactly.
I just had to show up and just record.
You just gotta show up and be witty. That's all that is to
I
it.
just got to show up and be me.
Being a guest is easy.
Oh yes, so much easier. Listen, I can be a guest every day because again, I get to talk, do what I'm doing, and I don't have to worry about all the editing and releasing and none of that. So
right, yeah, especially when you're on a podcast such as this one where it's not scripted at all. We just kind of go off the handle. So
believe me, mine is not scripted. My show is not scripted whatsoever. I might ask a couple of questions, but sometimes I don't even know where I come up with the questions. But
right, I tried scripting once. I can't stick to it.
Yeah, it doesn't work for me. It doesn't sound. It doesn't feel like me. It doesn't feel authentically me. It feels like I'm trying too hard. That's what it is. When I try to script it, it sounds to me like I'm trying too hard to make a good show. Right. When it's more just me relaxing and talking and just being myself, things tend to flow much more smoother and just sound so much better.
Right, exactly. All right, guys. All right, Wise. Thank you for coming on again. Hang out backstage. We'll talk after we get off air.
All right, no problem. Right, thanks for having me.
Yep, not a problem. Here we go. All right, guys. Yeah, thanks for tuning in. And we have some stuff. We have one thing to plug. Here we go. We have the new merch store up. It's still the same website. Go to the DLShowmerch.com. Use promo code the DL Show and get 20% off of your order. We have new t-shirts out there, and we do have new hoodies for you to go out there and check out also. And that is it, guys. Oh wait, no, next week. Not next week, but here we go. Live Wednesday, August 17th at 5 p.m. Eastern time. It'll switch up for the schedule for scheduling reasons, but we do have you've seen him on Comedy Central. You've probably seen him on Amazon Prime, or you might owe him some rent. He is the comedian Gaster Almonte coming on August 17th at 5 p.m. So be on the lookout for that. The link will be popping up in their Facebook pages very, very soon. And for that, that's it, guys. Thanks for tuning in. And of course, like and subscribe and check out WIZE. All his links are in the description below. So make sure you go out, check him out, like and subscribe to his channel as well. And that's it. Love you guys. Stay up. Peace.